Hmm. So this is the episode 2 of Deadly Blue Talk, a series I'm doing here on my channel, where we're just going to talk about things video game related. Usually it'll be probably Battlefield 3 gameplay, but whatever game I'm playing at the time or into is what's going to be put over the top of this. On occasion, I will have some friends and other people in to do their own commentary and to discuss things with. Typically, we're going to run about 30 minutes to an hour on this this particular program. So, today we're going to be talking about a few subjects. We're going to talk Battlefield 3 Endgame, because it just came out a few weeks ago. I waited for the Xbox 360 and PC release on purpose. I didn't want to kind of spoil things for those of you that may have those platforms and haven't had a chance to play. The other thing we're going to talk about is the concept of console wars and kind of how silly that is these days to even really think about it. And the other last thing we're going to talk about is this new Xbox 360 Illuma Room, which is pretty frickin' amazing, to be honest. I mean, it's pretty freaking cool. I am going to be playing some air superiority here. And so what you're seeing is me playing air superiority. And getting my ass handed to me. So here's my thoughts on Endgame. For PC, definitely worth it. Worth every cent. You're going to have, these aerial dogfights are insane on PC. I've been watching footage. I've played it at a friend's house. It's insane. There's so many vehicles in the sky that it is just, it's honestly amazing. I mean, it's fun to watch. On console, it's still a lot of fun, but you don't get the full effect that you do on PC. So there's a lot missing from this particular game mode on console that, honestly, I mean, would be pretty cool to get if you if you had the chance. So as you can see, I mean, you do a lot of flying. You can't bail out. Let's try that. Ejection seat malfunction. So you're pretty much done for. I mean, you can keep it in the air, but like you see, it explodes unless you happen to have some sort of rapid repair. But it's still a lot of fun. So this is air superiority. In a nutshell, you fly. You can do pretty much only in one mode that I've been able to find, which is basically Conquest. There are these blimps in the air, which we'll head towards one now at full tilt. And basically what you do is you capture these blimps, and they act just like conquest points. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing as conquest. Capture a point, head for the next one, and hope to God nobody blows you out of the sky. It's a lot of fun, honestly. Later on, we'll get into capture the flag. So this is the basic game mechanics. You know, you lock on, you rocket, you flare, you do everything you can to try and not get destroyed by the enemy. And help your team hold control points. I mean, it's pretty basic, pretty simple. I'm not too good at aerial combat, but it's kind of a good way to get the pilots and people out. I really wish they had an air superiority mode that centered around helicopters as well, instead of just jets. It would be pretty awesome to have a helicopter one for those guys that are really good helicopter pilots, but of course they don't, which leads me to kind of a point about Endgame. So Endgame feels very slapped together. In all honesty, I was expecting a lot more. It doesn't live up to the quality of some of the other game modes within Battlefield. Honestly, I mean, it doesn't feel as polished as, say, Aftermath, or even Back to Karkin. And Back to Karkin is a fantastic expansion pack. I know most of us on PS3 got that for free, but at the same time, I mean, it definitely does not feel as polished as the others, which, you know, you would kind of hope it would. The other thing is, it's pretty easy to get killed like that, where I think I didn't get rammed. Because it's an aerial, it's a little bit crazy. There's a lot of air ramming that goes on. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about it. There's very little you can do. Your class completely has no bearing on this particular game mode. And which aircraft you fly as, I mean, or choose, really the only difference is where you spawn in. And you can choose your spawn-in point, which is kind of nice. But, really, it has little to no bearing on anything. So what you're seeing me do here is what you shouldn't do, which is point at the ground. We're going to try and swing it around and head for C. And I get blown out of the sky again. I mean, it's really tough if you're not a fantastic pilot to keep it together, really, in this game mode. And you can see the little circles on the screen. Those correspond to your spawn point. So when you got one that's flashing, that's where you're going to spawn from. I just spawned in behind some of my team. I'm going to make a run as fast as I can for D. It looks like we've already captured it, so no capture points for... Oh, I got the capture assist, which is nice. Then we're going to head on over to A. Full tilt into A as fast as I possibly can, and we're going to...
The objective has been lost. I repeat, we have lost the objective.
My favorite method for this is because you have to stay kind of close. I got the capture, which is all I'm going for, is capture points. Only because the kills are so low value, really, and the game mode is so fast that capture points tend to stack better for me. I joined the game late, and I'm, almost dead last, or am dead last. But it won't last for long as I keep going after the capture points.
Objective neutralized. We have taken the objective. I repeat, we have taken the objective.
Nose down.
The objective has been neutralized.
And that's it. I mean, that's all she wrote. It is hard for a guy like me who's more infantry based to play this game mode. If you don't like vehicles, you're probably not going to like Endgame. It centers around vehicles.
Now control all the objectives.
So, okay, I'm going to drop out of this particular game so that we can go play some Capture the Flag. So let's go in, we'll quit out, and we'll get some Capture the Flag gameplay so you guys can see what that's about. Capture the Flag, I'm not going to lie, not enthralled with it. The maps are good, but again, because of the low player count on PS3 and Xbox 360, it really hampers the game. It's not as good as it could be because of that. Rush on the same maps, though, ton of fun. Highly recommend it because it forces players to kind of come together. It forces everybody to kind of, get in there. So we're just going to go ahead and grab a CTF and go back. And Endgame Capture the Flag, 500%. So let's just join that one, Operation Riverside. So you can see what Capture the Flag is all about. I don't like it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I can see where it has potential, and it has a lot of potential. The problem is with vehicles and the way everything's set up, it's very hard to be a non-camper. The run and gun and have fun gameplay just kind of fails if you're trying to defend the flag, and you need a lot of team coordination to defend the flag in this particular game mode. It's not easy, an easy game mode to play. Also, I mean, in all honesty, it helps to have, like what I've got here, a rocket launcher. So when an enemy comes in on their vehicle, especially the poor guys in their little Jeeps, you can just take them out pretty easy with the rocket launcher. But you don't want the ground-to-air rocket, which is what I'm sporting, because I wasn't paying attention. I will admit this, though, the dirt bikes are wicked fun.
Hostile vehicles positioning your AO. Proceed with caution.
Dirt biked him, but he got me with the javelin, which is always fun. So that's just part of the game. The way this game is played really doesn't leave you much of a choice. You're going to be playing as, as the engineer. It's the easiest way to play this particular game mode. Choose a hill, get up there and defend it, and basically hammer the enemy anytime they try and use a vehicle.
Spotted a hostile AT soldier in your area.
So, basically, this is pretty much how the game plays. As you can see, unless you really are on a particular team that's actually pretty good. it's not very easy to do what you need to do. You got to roll through the enemy. So, yep. So the basic premise here is get your bet over to their flag. Ride it in through the back door. If you can, like I'm trying to do here. And I hit a mine. So, I mean, that's pretty typical, really. I mean, not much we can do about it. Unfortunately, that's just the way the game plays. A lot of deaths to mines and those types of things. I don't really care for tanks, so... Oh, but there's a dirt bike over here. Let's just spawn in. And so we're headed for enemy territory, and you're kind of rewarded in this particular game mode for going outside the standard bounds of where they would think you should be coming from. So you do things like what I just did there. Come in from the back if you can. And basically rage on them. And so this is one of those things where you just kind of gotta hang back and do what you can. And I got repair tooled, which sucks, but it happens. But as you can see, I mean, it can be fun, but in all honesty, it just feels stacked on. It's not as much fun as some of the other game modes in this. I honestly don't care for it. Although, when playing some Conquest and things like that, it is a blast. And somebody's doing a good job of keeping this soldier spotted. And so he's toast. And so that was pretty easy. You just kind of hang out back here with your javelins, and anytime you see a bike, you just toast them. The bikes are fun. I think they're more fun in Rush or other game modes. than in Capture the Flag. It could have been so much better. I know you guys will hear me talk about this a lot, but I used to play MAG. And they had a game mode called Acquisition where you went in and you stole an enemy vehicle. And there was, you know, kind of a plot behind why you're doing what you did. And that's what I miss. Damn it, how did I get killed like that? But that was pretty much all me sucking there. But anyway, so as I was saying, Capture the Flag. There's a lot wrong with this particular game mode. And there's a lot right, but as I was saying about MAG, we had this game where we went in, we pulled an enemy vehicle out, and it was, you know, like a special piece of tech or something that we were going after. And I think this game, this could have been so much better. It could have been an enemy jet that we had to capture and then, you know, roll it across X amount of control points, or vice versa. You know, you could have had to drive it into a helicopter, you know, like a cargo helicopter, and airlift it out to a specified location and then hold that location for a certain amount of time, kind of like Conquest. And I think that would have been a lot more fun than what we got. I don't think what we got was as good as it could have been. Again, it feels tacked on. It doesn't feel nearly as organic as something like as you would expect this to feel. And that's not to say that it's bad. It's just not as good as it could have been. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. It could have been so much more.
Objective taken. Hostile machine gunner spotted in your AO.
That's it. That's all she wrote. That particular game mode is done, and my PlayStation 3 has decided it's... Oh, no, it didn't lock up. It does that quite often. So, Capture the Flag, not really worth your time. I mean, unless you really like vehicle-based combat, you're a fanatic for Capture the Flag. There's a lot they could have done better, and has been done better in other games. Capture the Flag probably should have been an... oh, I got banned. Ah, lovely. I love it when I get banned. Hilarious. And I wasn't even doing very well, which is hilarious to me that I got banned from the server. Kicked, yes. Banned, no. Sounds like somebody just got a little pissy. Unfortunately, this happens quite often when I play. So, for the remainder of this, we're going to go back to my old standby. Team Deathmatch. It's one of my favorite game modes in the game. That and Rush. Don't really care for Conquest, or was it Conquest Domination, or whatever you want to call it. Different name every game. So we're going to go ahead and change the filter settings for TDM Close Quarters and TDM. And then just go back. NOSHAHR Canals or Operation Metro. Messages. So let's check my messages real quick here, guys. See what somebody sent me. Epic cheese. Okay, so it seems like we've got a visitor. I think Sneaky might be online. Is he where is Sneaky? Okay. Well, unfortunately, he's not here. Sneaky was one of the guests that we were going to talk to today, but I don't see him as online right now. So let's go back to Surfer Browser. We're going to do NOSHAHR Canals because it's just one that I know pretty well, and I have a lot of fun playing. So back to the main topics here. So I told you about Endgame, air superiority, capture the flag. They didn't really add anything except for the Jeep. All the texture packs and buildings are from earlier expansions. There's nothing really new here. It sucks, but that's the truth. If you look around, you'll see that they borrowed assets from some of the other things. So you didn't really get much for your money. Somebody slapped together a map and said, hey, let's charge an arm and a leg for it. So my thoughts on it, unless you're on PC, I'd probably give it a pass, or unless you purchase premium, where you got a pretty stellar deal for it. You know, then if you did either of those, you're in pretty good shape. And I mean, let's face it, you're going to enjoy the game. It's not a bad game mode. It's not a bad game mode at all. And then air superiority, if you're a flight guy, it's awesome. I mean, think basically the same thing as the tank game, except for they weren't nice enough to give us... They weren't nice enough to give us a ground warfare game on that particular map. So, what I'm going to say next is going to be the console wars. So the specs on the PC, PS4, and the Xbox 720 are out. They're both going to offer varying sizes of hard drive, although, to be honest, anything underneath a terabyte these days seems kind of a waste to me. And I'm kind of disappointed that neither one of them is going to offer a full terabyte-size hard drive. That said, they're both using 8-core processors. They're both going to have 8 gigs of RAM. PS4 has DDR5, and the Xbox 720, I think, DDR4. Their specs are very similar. When it comes down to it, basically, they're both pretty much... glorified PCs in the box. I mean, the only real benefit out of having these consoles is that for manufacturers, it's a solid single piece of hardware to code for. So they don't have to worry about differences in, you know, video cards and things like that. They'll only have to worry about Xbox 720 or PS4 since they use standard Northbridge-Southbridge architecture like a PC. Seriously? How did that guy get away from me? Damn it. So, standard Northbridge-Southbridge architecture. Nothing really differentiates them. Except for the PS3... or PS4, I'm sorry, it seems to have a lot of social interaction features. And then the Xbox 720 has this thing called Illuma Room. If you haven't seen the video, it's up on IGN. When I post the video, I'll put a link down below to IGN's information on Illuma Room. It is amazing. So what it is this projector. It reads where your TV is, and then it can project information around your TV. And the stuff in the video is kind of mundane. It doesn't really show me anything that I care about. What interests me is what happens when developers get their hands on it and they start doing fun things with it. You're going to start to see guys doing things like placing the minimap outside of your screen. It's going to be projected on an exterior wall of the building, which will be super cool. I mean, you can't tell me that won't be awesome. I'm interested in what these guys are going to do with it once they get their hands on it. I want to see what all the developer community does with Illuma Room. What they showed is pretty immersive. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I got shot around a corner, which is always fun. It's just one of the things you play with in these games, a little bit of lag. But you have to see the video. I wish I could embed it in mine, but for copyright reasons, I don't want to do that. I'm not partnered with anybody, and so basically not doing that is better off for me. I'm not going to, you know, infringe on their trademark. So what I'll do is I'll post a link to an IGN video. Let's host it here on YouTube that will show you Illuma Room. Check it out. It's pretty cool. I don't know what you guys think, but I kind of find the console wars to be dumb at this point. It's just... it's kind of stupid. I mean... everybody's going to buy what consoles their friends have. Arguing over which console is better, kind of silly. Both of them are going to have exclusives, which I really don't like exclusives. I'm not a big fan of them. Forcing someone to buy your console because, you know, you want to pay money to keep somebody from producing a good game on any console for us, the gamers, to play. It's really a lose-lose situation. Nobody wins except for Microsoft and, you know, Sony. So this is a tactic you can use sometimes. It doesn't always work. But basically what I did was drop off into the water when I realized these guys were coming for me. They have no idea where I am. And so I'm going to try and swim out and around the corner and come back up through the gangway over here on this side. Sometimes it works. A lot of times it doesn't. And see, we've got guys coming in through the water over here, which is kind of funny. I don't know where they're dropping in from, that they're ending up in the water, but I think they're doing something similar to me. It could also be that they've got something planted down there. So I was looking for the enemy. Trying to figure out where they're at. So I got Infamous J, but Slash Finder got me. So anyway, yeah, console wars. Kind of silly. I mean, you've got the Wii U, which looks outstanding, amazing. If you haven't played it or got your hands on it, get your hands on a Wii U. Find somebody who has one and have some fun with it. It is pretty damn cool. It's a nifty little gadget. I don't think it's necessarily as awesome as say, some of the other consoles. But, I mean, really, it's done some innovative things, which is nothing less than you'd expect from Nintendo. They're always innovating. They innovate constantly, which is a good thing. Innovation is good. The fact that Sony is trying something new, the fact that Nintendo tried something very ballsy with the Wii U, that having that monitor on the actual controller, that took a lot of guts. I mean, that could have went really badly for them. The fact that Xbox is doing the Illuma Room, which, I mean, like I said before, it looks just amazing, is pretty awesome. I'm really enjoying this particular set of wars. It looks like it's shaping up to be good. Let's see if there's any extra topics we got here. I think I covered everything I wanted to today. I mean, we got the console wars in, and how kind of silly I find that. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm kind of tired of the whole, you know, my console is better than your console bullshit. Which is, let's face it, that's all it is. It's bullshit. Ooh, I got Saigoed. Buckshotted even. that's my own fault. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it's kind of goofy, pretty damn silly to me that we even have a quote unquote console war. To me, there's no such thing as the console war. I mean, it's just buy what you like, buy what your friends play. And that's really all there is to it. That's all there's ever been to it. I mean, we've been at this console war since, shoot, Nintendo and Sega, and then I think it was Atari had their little spiff where they hated everybody. And I'm going to take some dog tags. But, I mean, it's just one of those silly things where... I wasn't making it out of that alive. But, I mean, it's just been pretty silly the whole